Let's dance.
Ha! Not like this! Hey guys, we are back with another video. This one, we're gonna branch away from Fortune, and I'm gonna be talking about playing with 6 warlords this time. 6 warlords, I really like a lot. Also, it's also one of the 2 comps I like to recommend it to like new players. I like to recommend warlords and cultists because of one reason. it makes it where new players learn, like it forces them to learn how to manage their money. Because in order to hit like the highest ceiling of these comps and to have success with them, you have to manage your money pretty well, which is why I like to recommend them. I mean, 9 cultists is pretty straightforward. 6 warlords, however, I also like it. Besides that, I think it's a good way to force people to learn, is that it is very flexible who you make the carry in 6 warlords. Now, you can always go 9 warlords too, which generally does pretty decent, but 9 warlords, you have to hit the warlord spat, and even then, sometimes I think 6 is ideal. I don't think 9 is as good as before. But that's just my thoughts on 6 warlords versus 9. I mean, like the 9th warlord can be Samira, which would still be good, but takes up one of our item slots, which I think like having an IE, Giant Slayer, GA, Deathblade, you know, is much better. I also chose this game. Because the way it started out. So you can tell I'm having issues. Because the way the game started out. Because my original plan was not to go into 6 warlords. As you tell, I just had a money opener, so I don't mind money openers. You know, I just buy everything on the wheel. And on this particular day, I played mage. I think I tried to play mage comps like once or twice. So I didn't want to do it. Which is why you won't see me pick up the chosen brand here. But like I said, 6 warlords. Generally, when I play 6 warlords, I like to pick up a warlord early, like that guy. Though he just saw me go by. Or like an early chosen Garen or Nidalee. Ideally, I like it to be Nidalee, because I end up Ideally, you want to drop Garen later, unless you like 3-star him. I think 3-star Garen's better than 2-star Vi, and it's much easier to 3-star Garen right now, because he's not a very contested unit, unlike Vi, in this meta of brawlers that we keep. That is a thing right now. Okay. Excuse me, I just woke up. But I think what was my original plan? I think my original plan was to go keepers this game. Yeah, my original plan was to go keepers. So you can tell I have a 2-star Nasus right now, so. In this game, if I was given like chosen Yasuo like right there in the beginning, instead of Fiora, I probably would have gone duelist. I mean, technically, I still could have, but I think I pick up. No, I don't pick up Garen here. I do pick up Vi, I think. I'm trying to remember what I did in this game because it's been a few days since I last played it. I'm just gonna spoil it now, just warning you. I do lose to a 3-star Lee Sin at the end of this game. It's probably the only reason why I lost this game. I mean, it probably would have been really, really close with the 2-star Lee Sin, but the 3-star, you know, just was literally kicking some butt off the field. I don't think I did buy Vi because I considered going warlord, but I believe I'm going to losing streak again. It'll be good as usual. But oh, see, I hit chosen in Italy. I think I pick it up. Yeah, I do. All right, maybe I did not pivot into it, but I just considered going warlords just because of my items. Bow could be really good for Samira later. I generally like in 6 warlords. I generally like to run Samira with Nidalee because Samira right now is really good. The only problem is Samira right now is also really contested between the Spirit Sharpshooter comps, which has been a really popular comp that's been kind of blowing up right now. I personally don't like it, but it's a really strong comp, and Samira is a good unit. I also like to run warlords. I mean, you could technically run Set and Vi together. I just pray for what the other. You could run Lisa and Tryndamere together. Technically, that'll give you duelist. I mean, warlord comp. You can also, instead of making Katarina carry, you can make Tryndamere carry. Especially in a game where Slayers and duelists aren't being played. Technically, you can make a Jarvan carry, I think, in this current meta. Jarvan, the only time Jarvan's ever contested is in Keeper comp, which you don't see very often game to game, or I haven't lately. Everyone got different flavors, especially in Plat and high Plat, low Diamond Elo. Everyone's kind of got like a different flavor of comp they like to play. Whether they hard force it every game or not, it's another story. The only comp I tend to struggle with when playing 6 warlords is the 9 cultists, because Galio is just a the 9 Galio, the Supreme Galio, is a very, very thick unit. Anyway, so now we're back to second carousel. I believe I pick up a BF sword here. Yes. I pick up 3 warlords early too, because generally with warlords you kind of want to snowball early and run with it. Like, running warlords, 6 warlords or 9, there should be no excuse why you shouldn't hit level 8. I mean, if you're healthy and you snowballed early correctly, you should be hitting level 9 in most games and before everyone else. 8 and 9. So, if you're properly playing it and you slow level, right, where you don't drop below 50. Yeah, I hesitated playing warlords this game too, because obviously that guy's playing warlords. So I'm obviously playing contested. That guy's also playing warlords, so I had 2 other people play warlords this game, which is kind of a rare sight, especially in this elo, because not a lot of, I think people have a bad perception of warlords. I think right now, I think warlords, it's not the strongest comp, and but it's also not the weakest comp either right now. Like, I think it's a very, very stable comp, or balanced, however you want to put it. It's just the problem with 6 warlords that when you get to late game, right, I'm talking about around like 5, right? 5-1. Like 4-5 to 5-1, right? When you start that transition to like the later phase of the game, whoever's your carry, right, they need to be 3-starred unless it's a 5-cost unit, right? Or a 4-cost unit. Unless they're a 4 or 5-cost unit, like Tryndamere. Or Samira, right? Because obviously 3-starring Samira, like, that's like super, super hard. Especially without Nico's help. But I mean, ideally, I generally run cat carry, because I think cat is still a relatively good unit. and and she does a lot of AoE damage. And Kat's really good against the Spirit Assassin comps whenever she gets her ability off. So also really good against Keeper comps. So that's why I like to run Cat carry over other units in the Warlord unit. But I mean, I've also won games playing, Tank Garen, 3-star Tank Garen, 3-star Tank Fi, in previous patches. So I've also seen Trendemir carry do really, really well with 6 Warlords. So right now, as you can tell, I did not level up. Right, I have 4 units, still level 4, because I was pretty confident I can beat these guys. I pick up a Nico's Help, which is really, really good. And I picked up a Jarvan, which is also really, really good. So having a rod and a bow is rage played, obviously. Which is like really, really good for Samira. But also having a rod is like is one of the 2 components I need to make GA, or not GA, Gunblade. So I don't think I slam it yet. Oh, yeah, I do. I do slam it now. Generally, I don't, but I do slam it now because I know that I'm going to have to try to hit 8 first and find Samiras because of the other Warlord units are being played this game. Also, I know I'm not going to hit a 3-star Cat this game because I believe there's also a Fortune player in this game too. I vaguely remember, but I remember that I went with... I just slammed it. I generally don't, but I slammed it early because I know that Samira is going to be my main carry in this comp. Which at this point is looking really, really bad considering I'm on a 6-round lose streak. Which is really, really bad. So now we level up to 6. Just because I'm trying to break my lose streak. I like Kennen a lot, especially at this phase in the game at round 3. Kennen's a good, does damage, does an AoE stun. It's hard to argue why Kennen isn't good right now. I mean, hell, in Keeper's comp, Kennen is one of your 2 carries. If not, he could be your main carry in the Keeper's comp. As we go through this game, I don't know why, I don't know if it's a fad right now, but I've also noticed quite a few people playing 4 ninjas again with said carry. I think Chosen said, or Chosen Akali. So, I don't know why it's making a comeback, but I guess playing 4 ninjas right now, I guess is also pretty decent, kind of in the same position as Warlords. It's just a matter of properly hitting and transitioning into the 5-cost units. Also, I think 4 ninjas is... I think I keep seeing it because a lot of those units right now are kind of meh. So, they're not really contested. So, we broke our loss streak, right? And now we're econing, we're level 6. So, we're probably if not... We're stronger than most people right now. Probably, I'm not as strong as the guy in first, obviously, I think. Or the 2 guys that are win streaking. But we're running 3 sharps right now, which is pretty good. So us breaking that lose streak and making a slight comeback is closing the gap between everyone else besides the top 2 guys. It's really good. So I pick up a BF sword. Yeah. So I am heavily indexing into Samira carry this game. Which is very, very unusual for me. Because like I said, I generally go Katarina carry when I play Warlords. Because like I think I've stated before in the Fortune videos, Cat is not a very contested unit unless people are playing Fortune. Playing Assassins, which is rarely seen, like Spirit Assassins. Which I've also seen kind of make a comeback recently too for some reason. I think it's just what people default to when marksmans are being taken. And then Warlord comps, which Warlord comps are rarely seen. So I took the liberty and leveled up to 7 early. I pick up Kale because I don't need 3 sharpshooters. You know, 3 is just as good as 2. Also, Kale's a good Rage Blade user, and hitting a Kale kind of at this point is like pretty good. Since I'm still looking for my warlord units, so I can go 6 warlords. So you might have noticed why this weird positioning I have going on. This is kind of like the position you want to do when playing keepers. You know, except, you know, you have all your keepers right there and where Kale's standing or where Zaya. It's the ideal position for keepers. But I also position like that because that way my front line is getting double shielded by my keepers unit. And then, you know, my back lines still have a shielding with the exception of Nidalee. I position like this because I think somebody with Assassin's positioning on the opposite side that I just moved from. Like, here's one. Well, Cat's in the middle, but... Oh, I think I lose. Yeah, this guy is one of the other Warlord player comp. And I end up losing this. Like, 100%. There's no way I win. So that guy win streaking super hard with that comp is really good. So as you just saw, I just hit a Samira at level 7, which I have a 1% chance, by the way, to hit a 5 cost unit at this level, right? 1% chance. Let alone let it be Samira. Like hitting Samira at this point in the game is absurdly lucky. Like, so lucky that I should play the lotto lucky. Like, so absurdly lucky. Like, I cannot believe I hit Samira. So I end up slamming Deathblade here. So these are, like, I say pretty ideal items for Samira that I have. These other items I got, I really don't know what to do with them. I mean, I can make a QSS technically, which is, like, good for Katarina. And that I still have one more round of minions. So I can just hold them for now, because I already have my big main items on Samira. And hitting a Samira at this point, like, pre-level 8, makes me pretty strong in comparison to most people. I think this guy's got 7 cultists right now, so he doesn't have the big 9 that you like to hit at running cultists. So I think I end up win streaking for a hot while with this now. So I just hit Cat. I think I end up dropping Jax, do I not? Hitting 6 warlords is kind of a big spike, with the exception of this right now. I'm trying to vaguely remember why I sold Cat off. I think I sold Cat off because I know I'll find it later. And I think econing and hitting 8 as soon as possible is more important than anything else, so I can keep finding more Samiras. Because ideally, I know at this point, if I hit level 2 Samira before anyone else, like, I can top 4 easily in this game. And as you can tell, like, between 5th to 8th, we are pretty well. Alright, me and the guy in 5th is close in AHP then. And then the 2 guys at the bottom, they're pretty doomed. I think that is easily to say the least. I think I picked up Cat and I considered dropping Jax so I can have 6 warlords, but all my warlord units were 1 cost units, which is like, or 1 star units, which was like, at this point is like, feels bad. It feels pretty bad. So that guy's got a duelist Kale, by the way, which I think he makes a pretty good comeback in this game, by the way, from that spot. Duelist Kale is definitely underrated. It is so good. I'm just kind of, I will say, on a side note, even though it's just kind of randomness as I lose to this Darius carry that I think them bringing back Kale, especially the way she is now, from set 3 is kind of cancer a little bit. But what else are you gonna do with the Kale? I mean, I guess in like set and back to set 1, like they made Kale like use her R as a 5 cost unit, as a noble too. So it's just like what's next? Like I don't think there's not a lot of variety you can do with Kale. Unlike with Riven. Actually, I don't even think Riven has that much variety now once I thought about it. So we end up picking up... Okay. We end up picking up Azir here, because that'd be my 6th warlord. Which I think I just level up. Yep, I just level up and put him in. And I get keepers off this, so this is really cool. Wow, why'd I say it like that? This is really good. I think in this game I never pick up Cat, by the way, because I feel like it's it's too late to like index into Cat carry. So I find Tryndamere, I drop Garen. That way I still got Jax in there and Duelist. As you can tell, I also need a Tryndamere for Slayers. Because now I'm getting Slayers off a Pike too. So I know in a lot of Warlords guide, if there are a lot, I don't know how many there are, that I'm pretty sure that they'll confidently tell you that you need to pick up Pike, especially when you go Cat carry. Because generally on you make Pike, you want your 9th Warlord too. So. So at this point, I'm just trying to hit level 2 Samira. And possibly 3-star any of my units. So we just 2-star Tryndamere and Jarvan, which is really, really good. Gives us a nice solid front line now. So here's the Duelist guy. I think he beats me, the Duelist Kale guy. Literally just evaporates everyone. Yep. There I go. Like, look at that attack speed. So the 2 guys at the bottom from like a few rounds ago are still barely hanging on. Closing the gap between everybody else from the bottom to the top. So for all of us to be alive at 5-1 is kind of uncommon. Generally, like 1 to 2 people would be knocked out by now. Generally. I think I just... Oh yeah. With Nico's help. So I just need 1 Samira really at this point. So I can 2-star. Because without level 2 Samira, like I won't top 4. 100%. It's kind of crazy, like just about any item you can put on Tryndamere right now is like really good. Even though ideally I think you want to put kind of similar items to what I got on Samira for Tryndamere. If you go Tryndamere carry. Oh. So as you notice, I picked up Azir, but you're probably wondering why I didn't use Nico up to 2-star Azir. Because Azir is not my carry. Like Azir is just a luxury 5-cost unit that is also a synergy holder for 6 warlords and keepers. As you can tell, as you just saw Samira just rip into the enemy team, this is only a level 1 Samira. And that's the guy that was contesting me for warlords. So I dropped Jax, put in Lee Sin. Still gives me Duelist with Lee Sin, so that's still pretty good. I also like 6 warlords. Circling back to it in the beginning of the video, because 6 warlords you can flex a lot of the 5 cost units still, while still having a solid front line. Like, look at this. I have 3 of the 5 cost units in the game. Now, unfortunately, I can safely say that it is, like, trying to fit Swain into your comp is hard, because, he won't add any synergies to your comp unless you go, like, Siphoners, which is just really, really weird to flex into a 6 warlord. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like, at level, like, if you go 9, like, I guess you can put Swain in, and, have him be a frontline with, solid tank items. Also, if you ever hit early, well, okay, I hit an Ornn there. If you ever hit an Ornn, like, way earlier in the game, like 4-1, like, if you fast 8, you need to put Ornn in. Like, Ornn items are, like, secret OP, I think. Regardless which Ornn item you get. So the duelist kill guys on a winning, is just running it back. I mean, that guy can, like, lose 2 rounds probably and still live. Or lose a round and still live, so. Oh, this is the 8 cultist guy right now. Like, he didn't hit his 9 yet. He's still missing Zillion, I believe. So as you can tell, one star Samira with these items is doing a lot of work, but still ain't no 2-star. Technically, I could pick up a warlord ban here and put it on Pike. But instead, I picked up Azir, so I can 2-star Azir, which 2-starring Azir is really good. Generally, if Azir wasn't there on the pool, I would have picked up the Warlord banner and put it on, probably Lee Sin. Because the extra health is always nice. I mean, also Pike's a good Warlord user, so. So I'm just here, I'm still desperately rolling to hit Samira. Just one Samira, that's all I need. That guy with the double fawn, by the way, was really fortunate. I don't know how he got double fawn in this game, because, I didn't do as much scouting or pivoting in this game. Because, I mean, in 6 warlords, you can be pretty lazy about positioning, too. So, regardless what carry you go with, or your main carry. I mean, this round you saw Tryndamere do more work, so. Like, I can safely say I am pretty strong even with the level 1 Samira that I hit extremely early and by chance. So that guy finally hit his 9 warlords, but unfortunately set. It's also really good in tonight. It's the Supreme Galio, it's just that guy has a level 1 set. We are rolling again to find a Samira, and we broke. So every comp you see here, I say is really, really strong. It's just, I'm just really annoyed at this point in the game too. Because no one else has Samira on the board, but, like, I haven't even hit it yet. Like, where is she, man? This guy being level 7 running cultists, 8 cultists is kind of unfortunate, to say the least. Because being level 7 running cultists, it is like damn near impossible. Like to hit a zillion. But this guy's Vlad is also really, really strong. So see that duelist kill guy, that Julie guy, or Illy, I don't know if it's ILY, but he just lost. In the next round he loses, he's out. Unfortunately for that guy, the duelist guy, Kale was also a contested unit because there's an executioner comp. Or unfortunate for each other. Hurricane at this point in the game is pretty useless item, like not ideal. But I believe I end up putting on Tryndamere anyways because I didn't know what else to do with it. So now we're in round 6. Like, even if I lose a round, like if I get complete, like my board gets completely wiped, I die at this point in the game. Yeah, even hard rolling like this, I still don't hit a Samira. Oh, that guy also has a 1-star Samira. 2-star, actually. So, that guy, as you saw, right? He has 6 Lee Sins on his board. A chosen Lee Sin. Oh, as you can tell. He has a chosen Lee Sin and a natural 2-star right now. So this guy has 3 Lee, 1 Lee, and he has 1 Nico help on his, 2 Nico's help on his bench. He is 1 Lee Sin away from 3-starring a Lee Sin. Alright. Like, that's just insane. And he knows this too. Like, he knows that if he 3-stars Lee Sin, he wins this game. And I have a Lee Sin. So there's literally only 2 Lee Sins left in the pool for him. And I finally hit Samira. Finally. And I Nico's help theirs. Because at this point, I know I will beat just about anybody right now. So I'm feeling pretty confident I can win this game at this point now, finally. Because I 2-starred everything with the exception of Lee Sin, right? Because obviously, a lot of the Lee Sins are taken out of the pool between me and little Zazzy Vert, the guy in 2nd place. So this is the 9 Cultist guy, and you'll see me like just wipe him after I take the Galio hit. By the way, redemption at late game is a useless item. Well, I shouldn't say useless. It's not as good as early. So I was looking at 3-star Lee Sin. So it does 1,000 damage, it said, or 2,000 damage, and it stuns. And if they live, it stuns them for 10 seconds, right? So that guy with the flag carrier that never hit 9 cultists, like that's a very interesting pivot into 4 siphoners and 6 cultists. So I'm gonna, like, that guy was like really creative about how he got top 4 this game, especially being at level 7 for the rest of this game. So that kudos to that guy. Also, that guy just hit diamond, so that's also good for him. I mean, with that adaptation, you can see why he's in diamond. While being contested for cultists, so that's really good for him. Oh, that guy runs for the Lee Sin, I believe. Yep. So there we go. So that guy, it's gonna 3-stars Lee Sin right now. So now we get to see the way I lose this game. So, like I said, so that was basically, I guess I did run Warlord since the beginning of this game. I thought I pivoted into it. I think I got it mixed up with another game. I ran 6 Warlords in the day. But I mean, pretty much this is pretty much the ideal Warlord comp that I'm running right now, right here. Where Samira basically is your main carry instead of Cat. I like to run the combination of them, both Cat and Samira. But in this game I didn't because I know I was being contested for warlords. But we just beat the executioner guy. Generally in 6 warlords too. I think I said this earlier. Like, generally, most guides will tell you to drop Garen for your 6th warlord. I generally like to try to 3-star Garen naturally and keep him. Because he's a nice, tanky frontliner in comparison to Vi. And Vi is just... In this game, I probably could have 3-starred her realistically. Because brawlers weren't being ran, but it's hard. In some games, Vi is really contested. So you're about to watch 3-star Lee Sin just kick my QSS Tryndamere off the map, you know, it's always nice. That guy's also really strong outside of 3-star Lee Sin. But for this last fight, you know, I'm going to turn the sound on, and you can just bask in the annoyance of me losing to 3-star Lee Sin. Oh, that is so unreal.
That is insane. Holy.
Technically, I could have tried 3-starring Tryndamere, having this much money.
It freaking matters.
But realistically, I probably could have just rolled down and tried a 3-star Tryndamere. I think going to 9 was kind of a weird choice.
It freaking matters.
But in the moment, I felt like it didn't matter, obviously. And the moment of truth where I lose to a 3-star Lee Sin. QSS Tryndamere, by the way. Just because he did so much raw damage, it doesn't even matter. Like, he just killed them.
Jesus. Holy. That is insane. Oh my god. Kicked me into a fucking another lifetime.
And there we go. Right. So, tell me what you think about it, but that's generally how I like to run 6 warlords, right? Generally I like to run it from the start early, you know, win streaking. You know, kind of like how this guy did early, right? I mean, this guy hit 9 way before most people in this game. Right, the polar fucking opposite from me. But, just let me know in the comments below what you thought of this. You know, if you like it, hate it, want more, right? If you do want more, go ahead and sub to the channel. You know, I plan on doing this even into the new set that gets dropped, I think, in mid-April, maybe late April. But my thoughts for next video is I think I'm gonna try to run Mystic's Vanguards, because I think Mystic's Vanguard right now is also like, or you know, Fabled Mystic Vanguards with Nico. Right, I think it's kind of underrated. It's also hard to hit, but it's also I think it's still a pretty decent comp. Like balance comp right now, kind of like warlords. It's just not contested, and I like to play these uncontested comps. I think gives me personally, I think, the best chance to win. Also, it's so much less stressful, unless you just don't hit like I did in this game for Samira for the longest time. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you around.
I am here to entertain myself mostly, but you too. Be right back.
Will you?
Who can know these things?